I just spent a couple of hours sobbing. I have a Led Zeppelin t-shirt. It's got my snot all over it. I don't think we need makeup tutorials and new lipsticks in 2018 America. I think we need some fucking truth, or I know I do. So I was just crying, and I don't really pray to God anymore. I talk at walls, but I talked to my mom, and she prayed on the phone, and she believes that her God, and I don't mock her for that, but her God is not my God. I've chased after my mom's God, the God that I was taught as a little girl and as an adult in various Southern Baptist churches. I've chased after that God all of my life, and I've not found that God. Yeah, sister. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Let's read a poem from The Awful Rowing Toward God. The Evil Seekers. My mom said, you spend the morning in God's Word, and I just pray that God will lead you to the right word. Well, this is what God has led me to. Anne Sexton's The Evil Seekers. We are born with luck, which is to say with gold in our mouth, as new and smooth as a grape, as pure as a pond in Alaska. As good as the stem of a green bean. God, that computer's so loud. Okay, from the top. You can't interrupt an Anne Sexton poem. That's bullshit. The Evil Seekers. We are born with luck, which is to say with gold in our mouth, as new and smooth as a grape, as pure. The Evil Seekers, Anne Sexton, perfectionist, can't fuck this up. We are born with luck, which is to say with gold in our mouth. The Evil Seekers, Anne Sexton. I have all these tears in my voice. The Evil Seekers by Anne Sexton. We are born with luck, which is to say with gold in our mouth, as new and smooth as a grape, as pure as a pond in Alaska, as good as the stem of a green bean. We are born, and that ought to be enough. We ought to be able to carry on from that, but one must learn about evil, learn what is subhuman, learn how the blood pops out like a scream. One must see the night before one can realize the day. One must listen hard to the animal within. One must walk like a sleepwalker on the edge of the roof. One must throw some part of her body into the devil's mouth. Odd stuff, you'd say, but I'd say you must die a little. Have a book of matches go off in your hand. See your best friend copying your exam. Visit an Indian reservation and see their plastic feathers, the dead dream. One must be a prisoner just once to hear the lock twist into his gut. After all that, one is free to grasp at the trees, the stones, the sky, the birds that make sense out of air. But even in the telephone booth, evil can seep out of the receiver, and we must cover it with a mattress, and then tear it from its roots and bury it. Bury it. When I was in bed just now talking with the walls, I was reaffirming myself because I feel like hell. This is what it looks like when you want to commit suicide but don't. So it didn't even matter that much to me. I was ambivalent about it. But I got my rejection email from Texas State, which is where I started my college career in '92 at the age of 19. First generation college student. This is what white privilege looks like. I'm being specious. I don't want to be specious. I don't want to be a bitch. I just want to be sincere. So I'm not wearing my my MAC or my Neutrogena. But anyway, first generation college student. I finally got the piece of paper, the Bachelor of Arts in English with a concentration in creative writing from UTSA, University of Texas at San Antonio in 2016. So I had applied for the MFA program at Texas State, and I got the rejection email. Unfortunately, there were a lot of exceptional writers, and I didn't make the cut. I'm not an exceptional writer. But I am. I am an exceptional writer, and I don't need Oprah to tell me that. I don't need Reese Witherspoon or Tom Hanks or Julia Roberts or the fucking Academy Awards or an MFA program, Iowa Writers, AWP, Breadloaf, what the fuck ever, Plowshares. I don't need any of that. Because you know what I have, and I'm not going to prove it because I'm not going to walk out of the room, but I have the Outlaw Bible of Poetry, and there are a lot of autographs in it, but the one autograph that I really give a damn about, the reason why I keep the Outlaw Bible of Poetry, is because Todd Moore wrote in there, "Misty, you're a hell of a poet." That's why I keep it. So, fuck the haters and detractors. Todd Moore said I'm a hell of a poet. And the man who had the balls to publish this book, and it's in its second printing, which is unheard of in the small press. It's second printing. He put his balls on the line. He spent thousands of dollars. He has a family in Canada, and he published this by some white trash chick from the North Texas Sticks who abused her son when he was a toddler, and Wolfgang Carstens had the balls to publish this. Okay, so I was talking to myself in bed, talking to the walls, whatever deities or spirits or ancestry is listening, and I said, and I have this conversation often, why his bullshit rodeo resonated with more than a few people, people whose opinions matter to me. A man in Ohio who has more education than I'll ever have, he flew me into Ohio Labor Day weekend in 2011 for a Labor Day weekend fuckfest. And he said, "This is your ticket out." I'm not out. I'm still here. I'm still here. But why has that book resonated with the people that it's resonated with? It only has, I think, maybe 8 reviews at Amazon. But Scorpio Rising has 3 reviews, including mine, and that's utter and complete bullshit. Scorpio Rising should have 1,000,000 5-star reviews. So this should have 1,000,000 5-star reviews. Why? Because Southern Baptists like to talk about heaven and hell. I was telling my mom, I went to these sad Texas cemeteries with my dad over the holidays. We made this kind of spiritual quest, and we went to the cemeteries in Bomerton and Bridgeport and visited a few stones. And I said, Mom, it's just very sad and humbling to me that that's what it leads to. All the sweat and blood and try and love of your life, it leads to these sad stones. And she said, no. The people we love, they're all in heaven looking down on us, and they're smiling because they know that you're going to finally allow God's will in your life. And I listened to my mom because I love her, and then I hang up and I talk to the walls. The reason why Bullshit Rodeo matters to the people that it matters to, the reason why it's resonated with the people that have read it, is because it has my heaven and my hell in those pages. When I was talking to the walls just now, I was saying, I'm not Oprah, I'm not anyone in the eyes of the world. I've achieved nothing. I've given birth a couple of times. I've been married and divorced a couple of times. I've never owned real estate. Every vehicle I've ever owned has been a donation from a family member or an ex-husband. I'm not to many, many people. Many people will never know of me. I'm anonymous. I'm not Oprah. I'm not Indazaki Shangi. I'm not Ann Sexton. I'm not Sylvia Plath. But I have known, in my 45 years on this planet, I've known heaven and I've known hell. I've known the heights of human ecstasy, and I've known the depths of depravity and suicidal ideations. I've been on a few psych wards, I've been on everything from Prozac to lithium. I know the hell of unrequited love. And I put my heaven and hell in Bullshit Rodeo, and it rings true. It is true. It's not a memoir. It's not an autobiography. It is a novel. But I put my heaven and my hell in there. And people see my heaven and hell. They don't have to recognize it to know it's true. Maybe they've led a charmed life and they've only been with one person and they've been married once and it's been fabulous and they've never been on food stamps or given away their firstborn because they had a shit resume and no support. And they didn't have the cojones to go out and wait tables in Kerrville, Texas, whatever. It rings a beautiful, god-awful, universal truth. When I write about the heaven, there was one night on a mountain in Ben Lomond, California. One night of me being in a vodka gimlet bubble bath beneath the California pines and stars, and I had coronitas. And I had the steam from the hot bath. And I had pizza rolls. And I had Graham Parsons. And I had Bob Dylan. And I had Dan Zero. That heaven is real. People read that heaven and they believe it. They're right there with me. The hell of yelling at my beautiful, innocent 2-year-old son, yelling at him and slapping him and wanting to fucking die. That hell, people read that and they believe it. Bitch hurt. Bitch hurts. And it's real. And it's a blues song. It's as real as any Billie Holiday song. It's as real as any Hank Williams song. It's as real as La Vie en Rose. It's as real as Jim Morrison, Dead in a Bathtub. It's as real as Oscar Wilde in prison. It's as heavy and deep and true as Ezra Pound, the last years of his life. So, I'm sharing this because I'm a fool and because I don't care about my brand, and I don't care if I sell another copy of this book. I'm glad that I lived it. I'm sorry that I lived it. I'm glad that I wrote it. I'm sorry that I wrote it. And that's authenticity. And you can't workshop that shit.